like this in a whole lot of other towns. And people from other countries sometimes find this very interesting, the way we remember, commemorate, talk about, preserve our wars and our battlefields. So here we come. I'm starting to get the first glimpses here of the Sons of Confederate Veterans here, and it looks like not too slim of a crowd, I'm glad to see here. Chris?
Yeah, the Sons of Confederate Veterans were founded in July 1st of 1896, and you can see down here, just like the Federals were doing, they have most of their colors massed towards the front. These are the Sons of Confederate Veterans of Maryland. Keep in mind, if you've never been to Gettysburg, we're only 12 miles north of the Mason-Dixon line, that unofficial line between North and South. And the Marylanders are letting us know they are from Maryland.
Yes, indeed, and you have, Union and Confederate Marylanders, really showing a lot of state pride on the march up to Gettysburg, and then the Pennsylvanians when they cross the state line. Here we go. We always get some wild yells when it comes to the Rebs here.
You might see them saluting, dipping of the flag, the officers using the sword, touches it towards his nose, and then down to the right. Down here with the Confederates, you see kind of like the Union, you see a variety of uniforms. You'll see yellow chevrons again for the cav. You'll see red for the artillery. You'll see all kinds of different outfits and uniforms, especially for the Confederacy. You'll see their officers wearing their rank up on the collar normally. Sometimes they did wear it down on their shoulders, but you have to look towards their collar to know their rank. And you can also look down their arms, and you can see these braids. They're called Austrian braids, and you can tell ranks through them, and you can see some guys marching along singing with those Austrian braids on right now.
It was pretty. I saw the Delaware contingent. I've seen some of the Ancestor unit here, and now we're seeing
Virginia's coming along.
Yeah, here we come. I also saw a Confederate widow, which I thought was very tastefully portrayed there.
Yeah, it should be mentioned. I see Stonewall Jackson coming down through here. It should be mentioned that
I might see Jeb Stuart coming up too.
These folks sometimes spend more time on their impression than they do anything else in their life. They'll be researching, hours of research. They'll be sewing. They'll be going around the country trying to find just the right cloth or just the right weaponry to carry for their different units. So there's a lot of time and effort that goes into doing their impressions. They were just doing to support arms beside me, so I had to listen there for a second to see what they were doing.
Some more widows coming up here.
We have more of the civilians coming down. Looks like a Maxcy Gregg sighting. Maxcy Gregg killed at the Battle of Fredericksburg, mortally wounded there on December 13th of 1862. So we have all kinds of different generals out here today.
I'll tell you what, there are definitely more Confederates than were here 2 or 3 years ago, for sure.
Yeah. Notice one of the ladies riding here, side saddle. Not as easy as it looks riding side saddle.
That has never looked easy to me, and I never wanted to try it.
And these horses that are coming down here through here are highly trained horses. I think that was Jeff Davis and maybe Verena Howell Davis.
I think you're right, and I missed it.
And the First Lady of the Confederacy.
She's showing off now too.
Sorry
we can't show you everything, folks.
And we're coming up with this as we go, so we apologize. It's a little off the cuff. It's truly off the cuff. Here comes the artillery marching down through here as well with some more infantry. These guys coming down through here. I see a Mississippi rifle coming along. I see some Enfields, some Springfields. It's a hodgepodge of different weaponry. Now that they've halted, the Confederates go from right shoulder shift down to shoulder arms. Now, when it comes to learning the different manuals, there's all kinds of different manuals that the units will use. You'll have Scott's, Casey, Gillham's, which I nicknamed Gilligan's, Hardee's, Light Infantry Tactics. You can buy all these, at different reenactor shops. Like you can go down here to Regimental Quartermaster, pick those up here in Gettysburg, or you can find some of the originals online.
That's really cool. I just, there's so much more involved in it, than you would expect. It's not just what you learned in glory, left, right, little pinky at the seams of your trousers. There are numerous maneuvers. Just putting your gun down, just putting your equipment on, just learning how to do the most basic marches, let alone the more complex ones, is much more involved than I ever thought, say, before I got, closer to people who are so involved in reenactment.
Yeah, and a lot of people still today think it's stupid the way they fought, but there's a lot to do with command and control. You can't hear, you can't see so far, only as far as you can see from the top of a horse, or hear as loud as a man can shout. So, a lot of it has to do with command and control to keep everyone together. And you'll learn as you get into this hobby. If you want to get into this hobby, there's all kinds of great units out there to do so. How you know if someone has loaded their rifle just by one of the last parts of the load, and 9 times is shoulder arms. That's going to show me that they're at the shoulder. That means they're probably ready to fire their gun. So there's all kinds of little things that you will pick up doing this, and I'll tell you, it has made me a better historian. Just sitting down and meeting a lot of amateur historians who will give professional historians a run for their money. So it sounds like we have Dixie playing here.
That's a good way to finish up the parade. It looks like it's coming to an end up here, unless we have a surprise coming over the hill.
I think we have South Carolina.
We've got the Rebel Yell too.
We have a guy wearing a Havelock here, something you don't see very often. It goes over the top of your hat, down the back of your neck to protect your neck. But let me tell you the secret: it keeps all the heat in. It doesn't keep the heat off of you. Those things are the worst things to wear. I've done it before. And here comes some of the lady civilians here, highly trained horses to be in these parades. So these folks don't just bring these horses out here and jump on them and ride down. They have hours and hours of training. And that looks like, Gary, the 2021 Remembrance Day Parade. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I just want to say that whatever you think, even if we tell you that a lot of work goes into this, imagine that, then you take that into account. It's triple that. So here are people coming into this parade, that have really spent significant money, significant time, and a lot of them might be out doing what Chris calls, burning powder, shooting and maneuvers and stuff like that. But that they take the time to do this. And by the way, the people who are in town dressed up who don't come, they're watching the parade too and cheering on their comrades or their friends or their family to come in.